What's up, TikTok? What's up, film lovers? I'm going to present to you the first of 3 videos covering my 18 favorite first-time watches in 2024. Number 18 on my list of 2024 first-time watches is the 1974 thriller The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, from director Joseph Sargent. I caught this on Turner Classic Movies during Summer Under the Stars. I believe they were focusing on Walter Matthau, who headlines this movie with... Actually, no, they were focused on Robert Shaw. Yes, the movie's headlined by him, Walter Matthau, along with Martin Balsam and Hector Elizondo. Now, I had seen the remake with Denzel and John Travolta, and I vaguely remember liking that one. So when this came up, I was very curious to check it out, and I think it really stuck with me. I was having a ball with this one. It was just so engaging from the start. The pacing, the back and forth between Matthau and Shaw's characters, the little bursts of violence that happen here and there. The ending is, I think the ending is pretty perfect. It's just so cool. This was a damn fine film, and I highly recommend you check it out. It's all the movies I'm going to talk about on this particular video are, for me, 4.5 out of 5. If you care about letterbox scores, this is a 4.1 out of 5. And it is streaming on several services, and a few for free, including Tubi and Pluto TV. I highly recommend checking out The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Number 17 on my list is George Marshall's comic thriller The Gazebo from 1959. A TV writer has to deal with a blackmailer who may have some unsavory photos of his wife. Our TV writer is played by the legendary Glenn Ford, probably most famous for Gilda, the classic noir film with Rita Hayworth, or, if you're into westerns, he's in the original 3:10 to Yuma, a stone cold classic with Van Heflin. Yes, that movie's fantastic. I have that. I have both of those on Criterion, whatever. His wife is played by the legendary Debbie Reynolds, and Carl Reiner's in this, as well as Martin Landau. Yeah, early roles for them. Now, I dug this film. I watched it on Turner Classic Movies. I was just looking for something for me and my grandma to watch. And it is so interesting to see Glenn Ford play against type. He is very amusing here. He's very different. He's usually a much more harder individual. He is just, I think he's a great time. I love seeing actors work against type, especially when they nail it. I love the chemistry between him and Debbie Reynolds. I love the little bit about how he's supposed to be working on a project with Hitchcock. So there's a whole sequence where he's on the phone supposedly with him. And this has some of the best animal acting I've ever seen in the film. A shout out to the pigeon. I forget the pigeon's name. It's been a few months since I've seen it. But yes, The Gazebo. Letterbox users give it a 3.4 out of 5, and it's available on VOD at Amazon. This is a thumbs up for me, a high thumbs up. I really liked this one. Number 16 on my list, it comes to us from Italy, from director Giuliano Montaldo. This 1978 film is actually a TV movie originally, but Severin put it out, and I liked the premise, so I bought the Blu-ray. And the movie is called Closed Circuit. It's about a murder that happens at a movie theater while they're showing a spaghetti western film. And the cops come to investigate it. And you were never going to figure out who did it. I swear to God. It was this one. Now, I will say this 106-minute movie, it feels like it drags at times, but the performances are so good. There's so many different personalities happening. And there's a number of twists and turns that just kept me engaged throughout. This was really cool. So, you know, some impulse buying physical media sometimes is just not a good idea. But I'm happy I got this. It came out in early 2024. I watched it at the end of January 2024. And for most of the year, I don't think it was available to stream, but it is available to stream now, free on Tubi or VOD on Amazon. But I really fucking dug this movie. Letterbox users give it a 3.6 out of 5. Biggest score is 4 out of 5. And yeah, Closed Circuit. It's you should seek it out. Next up on my list is 1970's Mark of the Devil from British director Michael Armstrong. This German exploitation folk horror movie is about witch hunting. And I like witch hunter films. Witchfinder General, Witch Hammer from Czechoslovakia, I believe. The Crucible, which I only saw like a few months ago. I like witch films. I like witch hunter films. And Mark of the Devil is one of the nastier ones. I got it on Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. It had been on my watch list for a while, and I watched it during the March Around the World challenge I did in 2024. I'm not going to do it this year, but it was so cool to do it last year. It gave me a reason to watch a few things I had on video. I fucking dug this movie. It's headlined by Herbert Lohm and with Udo Kier, and it is set in Austria. And you got your good, not really good witch hunters. You got the people who believe in what they're doing, and the people who are abusing the fucking system. And it's nasty, mean spirited. All these witch hunter films never really end in a happy way or a good. It's always depressing. There's a sequence where these two are arrested for putting on a puppet show for kids because the witch hunters don't understand puppets, so they must be witches. And just the amount of frustration and anger I had towards a number of these characters. This one got me. But Letterboxd users give it a bit lower than I did. 3.2 out of 5. It is available to stream for free on Amazon Prime and Tubi. It's also available for VOD. But I really fucked with Mark of the Devil. My next film, Cast a Deadly Spell from 1991, had been on my watch list since I started a watch list on Letterboxd. It's been on Max since Max was HBO Max, and I'm gonna jinx it. It's gonna get taken off, I'm sure, like all the Cartoon Network shows. But wow. I mean, first of all, the people involved in this is directed by Martin Campbell, who did the best Pierce Brosnan James Bond movie, GoldenEye. And then he also did Casino Royale, which is just my favorite James Bond movie in general. It's headlined by Fred Ward, most famous for Tremors, a character actor who's been in a ton of things. It's got Julianne Moore, the legendary Julianne Moore, David Warner, guy who's been in a ton of things, from Ninja Turtles 2 to Scream 2 to the fantastic Time After Time. It's got Clancy Brown, motherfuckers. And this is a fantasy horror neo-noir film. I watched it during my Noir-vember. I double billed it for myself after watching Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions. Didn't really care about that one. But this one left such an impression on me that at the end of the year, I realized I actually liked it better than some of the films on this list, but I originally had it at 4 stars, so I gave it that extra half and threw it on there. But basically, Fred Ward plays, I think his name's, Harry Philip Lovecraft, and he is hired to retrieve the Necronomicon that has been stolen. There's magic, there's monsters, and obviously there's some Cthulhu mythos thrown in there a bit because, Necronomicon, right? This is thumbs up. There's a sequel to this with Dennis Hopper in the lead. It's not available to stream anywhere, but Cast a Deadly Spell, check it out. Last film on my list is Aventurera, a Mexican noir film from 1950 directed by Alberto Gaut and headlined by Nino Sevilla. Now, my entire list has 2 Mexican films on it, and they're both headlined by Nino Sevilla. Now, a lot of classic Mexican films are not available to stream with subtitles, which really fucking sucks. But when I was doing my Spanish language noir week during Noir-vember last year, I watched a bunch of them on YouTube because there were some with hard subtitles, and Aventurera was one of them. And even though the quality of the actual video was maybe TV quality at best, this movie fucks. This movie is fantastic. This movie had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. It's just high melodrama. Nino Sevilla's character, Alana, she starts off all happy. She's with her parents, but bad things happen, tragic things happen, and then within like the first 15 minutes, she's basically sold into sex work. And that's like the first quarter of the movie. I could not guess where this was going. That last half of the film was like, I would not have expected the film to head this direction. Nino Sevilla is just so much charisma, just so much energy. And she's a dancer. So the 2 movies I've seen, she's going to dance 2, 3, maybe 4 times. And it's perfectly fine. I love you, Nino Sevilla. I love this film. Even at a bad quality, this film was fantastic. Aventurera, 4.5 out of 5. Letterboxd users give it 3.7 out of 5. And there is a not great quality on YouTube video that I highly recommend you checking out. And that's that. I will be back with the second part of this list later.